people, who worry like, oh my God, I can't get 3 or 5 or 6 workouts a week. So my workout life is screwed. Do one super hard workout a week and you're not going to lose anything. Maybe you're in a life stress situation and that's all that you can fit in.
We are about to launch.
Truth Doctrine! Just got a funny look at his face.
Bippity boppity boo.
Bippity boppity. Scrumdiddlyumptious.
It's Liam and Jesse Taku.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? TNT Truth Doctrines, strength training extraordinaire.
This is the podcast where we help you maximize your strength as safely
and efficiently
as possible. My name is Jesse Schmidt. I've been a strength coach for 2,320 days.
What? It's only 320. Where's that 3,000 at? Where's Mr. 3,000?
It's coming around.
I'm waiting for Mr. 3,000.
Bernie Mac.
There you go. Oh, Bernie. Rest. Moment of silence. Okay, we're back. So anyway, what's up, people? Today we are going to talk about, we're rambling around in circles, going off the trail, but we're basically talking about split routines versus full body routines and a little extra here and there. This is a subject that could be extremely interesting to get into with your workout nerds. You guys want to nerd out anytime, just call us up. We're happy to oblige.
Lots of different ways to structure your workout program. At TNT, we recommend people do 2 full body workouts a week with a couple days of rest in between, but you might want to work out every day and you might want to do a split routine instead of a full body thing. And so we're going to give you some guidance about how to do that effectively if that's what you're looking for.
You might even want to work out once a week. Oh my God.
Or you might want to do a hybrid full body split routine. What even is that?
Yeah,
that's right. There's going to be some crazy info coming at your way.
If you pay attention, you might
your general direction. Pan for gold.
Pan, you got to really use that pan a lot if you want. They're in there. Those nuggets are in there, but you got to keep solution.
Well, before we get to the episode, we want to remind you guys to go check out tntstrength.com to check out our full line of supplements, nutritional supplements, that is. They're nutritious and delicious.
They're incredible. We have, an amazing whey protein powder. Of course, everybody needs to make sure they get those protein needs met. And if you're not meeting them with your regular food, you could consider adding a good quality protein powder in there. Fish oil, it's in the news, it's in the market, it's been around, but hey, it is good for you. There's no doubt. Some omega-3s, we got them. Gut health, you say? Probiotics, my friend. Yes, we all need to make sure, there's that mind-gut connection. They're starting to learn all kinds of stuff. Take care of that gut. Give it some good probiotics. And of course, little K2D3. We learned the value of vitamin D3 during the pandemic. Something that happened not that long ago. I can't remember. But anyway, vitamin D became important. They recognized the people that had low levels of vitamin D were more vulnerable to a lot of things. So a good quality K2D3, they actually synergize with each other.
Yeah.
Bone health, little everything good. Of course, getting out some sunshine on your body is a good thing too. We do recommend a little sunshine, but in case you're not getting enough with sunshine, K2D3.
There you go. At TNT Strength, we recommend a high-protein whole food diet. And if you have some gaps you need to fill, these supplements are a great idea. So go check them out, tntstrength.com. And stay tuned for this solo round with Liam and Jesse on full body versus split routines.
Yeah. So, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Why does my head look all lumpy because we have the blur going?
Because his head always looks lumpy, but he just doesn't know it.
Oh, I got a sick burn from Taku.
Burn. What are we doing here? What's going on? We're here in the studio.
Hey, are you listening? You're listening out there?
You need that knocking on the TV glass sound cap. Ting, ting, ting. Anybody out there? Hey, you out there. Talking to you. Jesse's
working your full body or are you doing a split?
That's right. What is that anyway? We're talking today. We're going to talk about split routines versus full body routines, as in strength training routines. Folks, this is a kind of a standard thing with all kinds of people having all kinds of thoughts about it. Like everything else in the strength training world,
I don't have any thoughts.
Jesse's got no thoughts.
I have thoughts on banana splits.
Banana split.
I'm actually not a fan.
I'm not a fan, as you know, because I'm a purist.
I like bananas.
I either like my split or my banana.
Yeah, exactly.
No bastardization. Don't be slapping stuff on top of my banana.
But I don't know. I guess split routines are all right.
There's a lot of thoughts about split routines versus full body routines. You know, a very common idea I find, and Jesse may agree, is that people often think like beginners, full body exercise routines are for beginners. And, once you're advanced, you move to a split routine of some kind. That's not an unusual thought process. Also, often split routines on the other side are often thought of as bodybuilding routines. Like bodybuilders would not train their whole body at one time, people would think. Again, there's lots of ideas about, what people have in their mind about, what makes sense when and how to do it. It's a pretty deep topic, as I was discussing before we got on the air. Programming itself is a pretty deep topic, probably a lot deeper than people think. Most of the time, everybody just thinks about classic models like periodization, which some people may or may not have heard of. There's linear periodization, and then there's much more complicated methods these days, conjugate periodization, all kinds of stuff. And people, in my opinion,
Conjugal what?
Yeah, exactly. In my opinion, most of the time, people are like overcomplicating the subject and losing sight of some super basic concepts. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about that today and things that we might do or how we may apply split routines versus full body routines.
I'm doing a split right now.
Jesse is doing a split.
I'm doing an upper body, lower body split because I do a 10K run every Friday. Been feeling like I usually do my strength training I have been doing it on Wednesdays and then maybe a weekend day as well. Just been feeling like my legs could use a little bit more rest. So now I'm doing a leg workout, a higher volume leg workout on Tuesdays, and then an upper body workout on Wednesdays. Feeling better on my runs on Wednesday. Feeling more rested on Friday, sorry. And it's nice. I mean, we know from current research around strength training that, as long as you do a handful of sets per body part, and you're training to failure, that's as much as you need. You don't necessarily need additional volume to get the majority of the benefit, but there might be some additional benefit to doing higher volume. So I like the higher volume split day for now. In an ideal world, that I do prefer to do a full body workout, but that's just what it is right now for my training.
Yeah, and in this case, we might define, what does that mean? High volume versus low volume. In our model, most of the time we're training full body workouts, 8 to 12 exercises, twice a week, several days of rest in between. So, and if you're doing one total body workout, you're only getting a few sets, depending on the emphasis. Again, that's something we can talk about. You're only getting a few sets per muscle usually, right? Because you can't fit that much in. So you might be getting 2 sets per muscle group, basically, right?
So I do like a chest press and a tricep extension. So my triceps get worked twice, and a leg press and a leg extension. So my quads get worked twice in one workout. And then over the course of the week, we do that a couple times. So I get 4 sets per my quads and my triceps.
Yeah. And they may not be the same 2 exercises. Obviously, that's again, another variable you can play with. So now when Jesse says higher volume, what he's saying is he's just doing legs only, right? Lower body only on that day. So now instead of that 8 to 12 sets having to encompass his entire body, we might do 8 to 12 sets just on lower body exercise. So it allows us to get more variety, more total volume, more angles, right? Traditionally, as we just said, full body workout, you might get a couple of sets, might be a leg press on one day, a leg extension, a leg curl on another day. Now in that one workout, you might be able to do, since it's all hips and thighs, we're doing, leg extension, leg curl, leg press, abduction, adduction, calves. We might do hip flexors. We might do tibialis, depending on what we're trying to work on. So we can hit more angles, more total volume, and get that lower body really smoked and still take that short, brief, efficient time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get it all done. So there's definitely an advantage there. And this is an advantage that can, come in handy for all kinds of people, whether it's athletes or just people, time constraints. And then again, Jesse's doing it specifically for recovery reasons. He was finding he wasn't feeling recovered, but he can also get the benefit of getting a little more focus on that lower body section, which is obviously going to be important for many other things.
Well put, Taku.
Yeah, I have my moments.
Senior moments. But nailed it.
Oh, man.
Oh, that is a burn.
Reburn.
All right. So we're talking program design, major concept, split versus full body. Why do you do it? When? What does it make sense? Again, there's lots of things that people probably haven't thought of. So most people just think of split. Here's a mistake I found in the past, for instance. The classic hit guys, like back in the 70s, like Darden, blasphemy probably for me to badmouth Darden in any way. It's not a badmouth. It's just a mistake I think he made. He would always compare total body routines to split routines and say that split routines led to overtraining. But whenever he did an experiment, he always had the person who was split routining train 6 days a week, and the total body guys train 3 days a week. Because he'd say, look, they're getting and now these guys are getting their total body by splitting. But he never thought train less, right? Less than 3 times a week. Because back then they were trapped in that concept that 3 times a week was optimal or required. And I always thought, even 20, 30 years ago, I'm like, why has he never thought about doing just an upper body, just a lower, or push, pull legs and hit each part once a week with more volume and then compare what happens? And it always seemed strange to me that they had never experimented with that, which they didn't back then.
Seems to me like you would get probably equivalent results from those, two different programs.
Absolutely. And again,
I mean, I feel like my training, even though I prefer to do a full body workout and just knock it out, the whole body, like I feel like there are trade-offs, and ultimately I'm getting the equivalent results doing my lower body on Tuesday and my upper body on Wednesday.
And ultimately for results, almost everything will work, right? As long as you're doing the basic stuff of having progressive overload, recovering fully, training with enough intensity, right? Then we know that many, many, many approaches will work. And again, remembering that we always are coming from a place of searching for things that are efficient, right? So we're never going to veer towards how much work can we pack in the week, right? That has never been our goal. And maybe for some people it is. We find that for most people, again, we're talking about natural athletes or people just adding strength training to their life as a benefit for function, daily activities of daily living. They also are looking for efficiency. And so finding the ways that do it, and whether it be extremely minimal routines, as Menser came up with back in the day, he called them consolidation routines. He certainly didn't invent that concept. Minimal training has been around for as long as strength training's been around. But Menser, who had been a bodybuilder and even as a hit guy had done quite a bit of volume at different times. He got down to the point where he had some of his athletes training 3 exercises in a workout, just a big push, a big pull, a big legs, right? Sometimes we call it the big 3, right? It might be a deadlift, a chin up and a dip, or a leg press, a bench press in a row, right? And that seems like
one set. Yeah,
one set to failure. So we're talking extremely brief and intense, and people just don't think that could work. And not only can it work, it can be extremely effective for some people. And you just have to look at your lifestyle. I'm working with other busy people. I do a lot of consulting as well outside of just the one-on-one training. Working with another coach who reached out just saying, he's super busy running his own fitness business. And he was asking me about ideas. And, I just told him he could just build this tiny little routine that's like 3 exercises. He could do it. Not only could you do 3, but you could now do a split even with that low volume. So you could do 3, a push, like pull down, like jet bench press, shoulder press, leg press. And then another day you could do pull down, row, deadlift. And that could be it. Just 3 exercises, mostly pulling and mostly pushing on those, breaking it up, but working a lot of stuff. And again, a couple days off in between, or at least a day off, alternating. There's lots of ways you can do it, but they can be extremely minimal and still be extremely effective as long as you're, again, being progressive and working out hard enough on the exercise when you do that.
Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, I mean, there's some sort of like basic mistakes that people make with split routines, like that. We've talked on this podcast about the Schwarzenegger, split, where it's like arms and back on one day and chest and shoulders on another day, and then legs, which seems almost like it would work, right? Because it's the effective, split routine would be like if it's 3 separate days, push, pull, legs, and then repeat if you're going to do that twice a week. If it were me, I would do push Monday, pull Wednesday, legs Friday, so that I'm always getting a day of rest from the strength training in between. But yeah, what when we break down what are the arm muscles, we're basically talking biceps and triceps. And so if you do biceps and triceps with your arms on Monday, and then Tuesday is we do chest and back on Monday, right? And then arms and shoulders on Tuesday. Well, what are arms, right? Arms are biceps and triceps. And if we did chest and back on Monday, that was like a bench press, which is your triceps, and you're doing like a chin up, which is your biceps, right? So we're doing those back-to-back days, and that ultimately leads to overtraining. So
just to interrupt quickly, a way you can apply that, and here's one that most people have never even thought of. Again, a lot of people are stuck on what days of the week, how to fit it into the days of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or whatever, Monday through Friday, blah, blah, blah. So here's a split that I've shown people over the years who seems like almost nobody's ever seen. So using that same concept, which seems like it won't work in the way Jesse described it. Imagine Monday you do shoulders and arms, which are smaller muscles, really less systemically fatiguing, right? So Monday I'm going to do shoulders and arms, whatever that happens to be. Tuesday I'm going to do legs. It's lower body, it's big, it's very systemically fatiguing. Now I'm going to take Wednesday and Thursday off completely, and Friday I'm going to do chest and back. So now I've had 2 full days, actually 3, right, between shoulders and arms, because I had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off from that. And legs of resting, and now I'm just hitting chest and back. So I'm kind of getting those things twice, right, as Jesse said, because shoulders and arms are working in both chest and back day and shoulder arm day. But I also have several days off between them every time.
So we're changing the order of the days, and then spacing them out a little bit.
Yeah, so it's another way to get 3 workouts in, split your body in parts.
Yeah, so I think it's tricky because like what a lot of people do is they Google a program and they do exactly what the program says, right? So it's kind of like working with AI, right? These days, we can't just, it's not plug and play exactly, right? Like depending on the quality of the program, you might be able to almost do it word for word, but it's going to take a little bit of critical thinking here and there at the very least. So yeah, that's a good way to deal with it. I thought what you were going to say was you could stick with that same, like, let's say you were doing chest and back on Monday and then arms and shoulders on Tuesday and then legs on Wednesday. I thought what you were going to say was vary the intensity. Yeah, because that's another thing you could do too, is you go to failure on everything Monday, and then everything on Tuesday is not to failure, and then Wednesday, maybe say Wednesday is not to failure, and then the next week your Tuesday is to failure, and the other 2 days are not to failure.
Absolutely.
And so you're varying the intensity from week to week.
That's a super effective way to do it as well. So imagine you've laid out a program like Jesse just described. Even if there's days off, it doesn't really matter. You can vary the intensity as part of your cycle and still stay on that tight schedule. So you could do push-pull legs, but as Jesse said, let's say we're doing push-pull legs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like Jesse said, on Monday, whatever it is, it's push all sets to failure. The Wednesday, Friday workouts, not to failure. The second week, not to failure. Monday, Friday, all sets on Wednesday to failure. The third week, Monday, Wednesday, not to failure. Friday, all sets to failure. And then just keep cycling that way. And then you get some volume, some intensity, some rest. You're not leaving anything out.
We get that the high intensity training community is not going to be a huge fan of that particular split program, because if you're not training to failure, what is the value even of that exercise? They would argue. So, which I agree with for the most part, but some people like to work out. So if that's you, then great, do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, and those who are real like Nautilus aficionados would know that in the old days they basically prescribed that exact concept. Arthur Jones himself was stuck on that 3 full body workouts a week kind of idea, but he programmed it. So as a beginner, you were going to failure, all 3. And after a certain amount of time, it went failure on Monday and Friday and not on Wednesday. And pretty soon, it's like you're only failing one of those 3, but you're still working out 3 times a week, because they were, again, hung up on that idea that you had to get those 3 workouts in to keep the stimulus alive. Arthur Jones thought that you were losing muscle after, 96 hours or whatever. Like basically you couldn't go, he didn't think you could rest too long or you were losing some benefits. So that was a mistake that he made. We know that strength does not decay that quickly. And that as we talk about a lot on here, we have clients who take a month off and come back just as strong or even stronger than when they left after all that recovery. We expect them.
Better believe it.
Yeah. So we know that strength does not decay quickly, is again, based on the idea that you're working hard to begin with. People who are in the gym just going all the time and never actually working hard, they're probably going to lose anything that they got because they're not really getting much to begin with. And so whatever stimulus they are creating has not been valuable enough or meaningful enough to cause the adaptation that they want. So it doesn't hang around.
Hey, what are those guys doing here?
Whenever I feel like I'm stalling out on my bench press, I know I need a new strength curve.
Whether you're stalling out on the road or stalling out in the gym, you need something with great engineering.
That's right. And
So
I
look
want
for the pendulum.
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 Not just your average strength machines.
No, they have smooth strength curves.
Amazing rigidity.
And did we mention the engineering's fantastic?
That's right. Not to mention, they come in cool colors.
Like red.
And silver. Well, that was kind of weird. What was that all about? Back to the interview.
Let's talk program design considerations. There's lots of things you can think about when you build a program. What exercises are you performed? Are movements emphasized? Any kind of set variables or intensity techniques? Different types of repetitions? Tension time? Rest between sets? These are all considerations you can make when you're building a program. How many body parts are you training in a session? What order are they in, right? What we're talking about, the split versus full body. You can emphasize even within that. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's say we're doing 3 full body workouts a week, but we can still take that same concept of emphasizing the classic push-pull legs within that model. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's push-pull legs again, but we're doing a total body workout. So on Monday, only push exercises are taken to failure. And the other exercises, pull and legs, would be just a few reps shy of failure, not to failure. Wednesday is only pull exercises are taken to failure, but you're still doing push and leg exercises. They're not to failure. And then Friday, legs, all the legs are taken to failure, and the pulls and the pushes are not taken to failure. That's yet another way. There's, again, millions of ways to do it. Not too many sets, not too long of a workout, right? But that's an efficient way to maximize recovery, still get some volume that you feel you need on all the different muscles, still get some stimulus, still get some practice, whatever you want to call it. People that want to be in the gym a little more frequently or feel like they need that stimulus, that's another effective way to do it. Yes. Oh, there was a thumbs up there, guys.
I give the thumbs up.
Better,
Yeah, I mean,
better than the finger.
any split routine is just about following the basic fundamentals of don't overtrain. Make sure you're working every muscle in your body as hard as it can, at least once or twice a week, and make sure you're not overtraining. And there's tons of different ways to structure that.
Yeah.
And there's really only one way to mess it up. And that's just to be, training muscles too frequently.
Yeah. When not training them hard enough, right?
That's true. But I mean, if you're not training hard enough, you're just wasting time. At least you're not getting injured,
Sure.
or burning out and just losing all enthusiasm for going to the gym in the first place.
So there's other ways you can combine these things that we haven't talked about. You can do it. We got upper body, lower body is a classic way. Some people might do them every other day. Like week 1, it's upper on Monday, lower on Wednesday, upper on Friday. And then week 2, lower on Monday, upper on Wednesday, lower on Friday. So that's one way some might do it. Some people might do it as thinking they can get a little more frequency. So they might go upper Monday, lower Tuesday, Wednesday rest, upper Thursday, lower Friday, weekend rest, like that, right? Those are classic ways to do it. But another way for those of us who want more recovery between, you might go upper, lower, and a total body, right? And rather than do that in a split, right? Because some people train once a week, right? Their whole body once a week. So you might go upper on Monday, lower on Friday, and then full body on Wednesday. And with that model that you've heard us discuss, where we add conditioning days in between, that's another good way to make that work. So you could go upper on Monday, conditioning on Wednesday, lower on Friday, then conditioning on Monday, total body on Wednesday, conditioning on Friday.
Now we're getting crazy. Now we're off the rails, Taku.
Man, this guy, it's too many thoughts floating around in my head. I need to go eat some cotton candy and stop thinking about this stuff. I don't know what the cotton candy has to do with this.
Because you're going to the fair?
Yeah, because I got sugar. It will distract me. Maybe it'll maybe think about something else. So anyway, there's so many ways that people probably haven't thought about it. And what you need to look at is your own life. Also, another thing is get out of the calendar, right? You don't have to train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or get it in on that 7-day period. Some people find that every 5th day, right? They could do a total body every 5th day, right? So it doesn't end up fitting in that 7-day calendar. You might train on Monday, take Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, train Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, right? Like that. Train Tuesday and just keep on cycling out. You can do split routines with more time in between. We do have a friend who is extremely strong. He works out here occasionally. We talk about him now and then in the background. But he trains a split push-pull legs, and he only does each part one time a week. So it takes him 3 weeks or basically a month to train his entire body one time. So it's this Saturday is legs. Next Saturday is all push. This following Saturday is all pull. And he just keeps on going like that. And for him, it's working incredibly well. He's getting stronger. He's maintaining. We're gaining. I mean, he's freakishly strong. So clearly, he's not losing any benefits from training that infrequently. And this, again, he's been doing this for years. And so he's experimented with everything over the years. And this is what he found he feels works the best for him.
Yeah, some people take an extra long time to recover. And he's an outlier in that sense, I would say. He takes a long time to recover. People like Big Jim Flanagan, he trains very infrequently, like once every 10 days or something like that. So those people are more rare. We find that, the strongest people tend to take, we're talking like extremely strong. Like this guy we're just talking about, they call it, his nickname is Atlas. And he's like NFL player strong, like powerhouse kind of guy. Like for those of us, like for me, I consider myself like I'm an athletic person. I have average strength, right? I strength train. I keep myself as strong as I can be. But if I had to try to tackle an NFL player, it's probably just not happening. Like this guy, Atlas, he could do it. So, and those people, they probably take a little bit longer to recover on average. Most people, though, if you're doing full body routines, 2 full days should be enough to recover most of the time, maybe 3. And if you're doing a split routine, like a push-pull legs, even though you're working out several times a week, your full body is getting a whole week to rest. Like each muscle group is getting a full week to rest. So your system is working sort of frequently, but each individual muscle is actually getting much more than that 48-hour window to recover.
Right. And again, there is a lot of research out there that shows that people can be successful training as little as once every 7 to 10 days, like the whole body, right? So whether you break it into pieces like Jesse just described, or you literally just train your body once a week, it can be effective. And, it's very rare, like someone would split it up in such a way that I described previously with Atlas, right? That he's training his whole body once a month, basically. But once a week can work for a lot of people. And it's even more than just maintenance, right? People think of it as a maintenance thing. So many people have elevated their training needs to a social ritual that it's hard for them to imagine not being in the gym, right? They just feel like they like it. They like everything about it. It's part of their lifestyle, whatever. They're not thinking in the terms of efficacy. But you can find, maybe something comes along in life and they freak out. Like that's what happened with Atlas. He freaked out because he thought he couldn't train in the gym during the pandemic. And now he trains at home with nothing but rubber bands. Not only is he stronger than everybody else, but he only trains with rubber bands. So that's another thing. The tool is not as important, but people, who worry like, oh my God, I can't get 3 or 5 or 6 workouts a week. So my workout life is screwed. Do one super hard workout a week and you're not going to lose anything. Maybe you're in a life stress situation and that's all that you can fit in.
Yeah, and that's what I tell clients, who are like concerned that they missed a workout. I remind them that the average American is sedentary. They do 0 workouts a year. So if you're doing, let's say you do 45 workouts a year because you went on vacation, you got sick a couple weeks, and work got crazy another couple weeks. You do 45 workouts a year. You've done 45 more workouts than the average person. And if you're training twice a week, you're doing way more than that. You're doing 100 more workouts than the average person. So especially if you're keeping the intensity high, if you've listened to other episodes of our podcast, you probably know that we recommend, training with a high level of intensity, training each, using good technique and training each movement to momentary muscular failure. And if you're doing those things and you're letting your body fully recover, whether you're doing a split routine or a full body program, you're going to get great results. If you missed a week, it's not going to be a big deal. You're going to be right back where you were when you come back to the gym, if not even stronger, probably stronger, as long as you haven't taken, 6+ weeks off. So that's just how we live our lives over here.
Yeah, and part of the takeaway from this, I think, is that if you're listening and you are doing a lot of volume stuff, you're in the gym 6 days a week, 5 days a week, and you feel like there's a need for that, or you always do split routines, you haven't tried full body workouts, or vice versa, right? I think it's worth always investigating these things. You may find,
Mix it up. Get crazy.
go out and do, if you've always done splits, do some full bodies for a while and cut it down. Do minimal, do once every few days, do no more than 3 a week. If you've always done full bodies, try some splits, try some upper lower, try some push pull, experiment. But whatever version you try to use, err on the side of less total volume and frequency, not more. And find out, to your pleasant surprise, most likely, that you don't need as much as you thought you did to get results.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Truth Not Trends
TNT Strength Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on whatever platform you're on, and share these episodes with a friend. Spread the word.
If you want to learn more about us, you can visit tntstrength.com.
You can also call us live right here at the studio anytime at 510-768-5421.
Or shoot us an email at contact@tntstrength.com.
If you visit, you can sign up and get our free training and nutrition PDF. Just head on over, click the box. It'll be in your inbox in no time.
While you're at tntstrength.com, check out our store where we offer our fantastic TNT Strength nutritional supplements.
And whatever you do, stay off with that stupid blue bow suit.
That is why you're fat.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
Cap left, he's taking a poop.